Hi, I'm Jocelyn Schlichting. I farm with my family in Rice, Minnesota. We raise corn, kidney beans, potatoes, sweet peas, and also raise hogs. Today, I'm going to share my wonderfully fussy Delmonico potato recipe with you. My family's been making this for years. It started out really technical, but we've kind of honed in and gotten better at it. So let's get started. First, you're going to need an onion chopped up fine. You got to have the right tools to do anything complicated, and that absolutely starts with a sharp knife. Everybody has a little different technique for getting their onions cut. I'm in favor of wasting a little bit of onion in exchange for getting things done faster, so I'm not going to fuss around trying to get all of the paper ripped off. I just take off a whole big layer. And then I like to leave the base intact and cut nice slits, and then I can go crosswise. Some people will take the step 2 to go sideways here, but the onion already did that for you, so I skipped that step. Our family grows russet potatoes, and they mostly go to, it's called processing. Anytime a potato is stored and then cut later and delivered to people, that's called a processed potato. A fresh potato is anything that gets delivered to you in the grocery store. And then there's some kind of variations in between there. But our family in the past has grown red varieties. We did varieties specific for potato chips in the past. But the agriculture industry has a way of finding what your soil type does best, what your climate does best, and it focuses in on that. So over the years, as the ag industry has become more efficient, we've focused in on russet potatoes only. We store them all year round. So we'll harvest them in October, and then we leave them in storage until sometimes the next August. And we load them out just as the processing plant can use them. Ours particularly get cut into hash browns, sometimes mashed potatoes. We sell to the Simply Potatoes brand, and they're made right in Minnesota. Okay, I got my onion going, and I'm gonna get that started in some butter right away. One of my favorite parts about this recipe is it's not shy on the dairy products. And let's face it, when you're eating potatoes, the goal is to pack in as much butter and dairy product as possible. So I'm gonna get some butter going. Leave the heat kind of at medium to start. And then when the butter gets melted, I'll turn it all down, add my onions. So this recipe, the first time my family made it, it took us forever. The recipe was written really complicated, and we were reading over and over, and we actually threw some away and had to backtrack and try it again. Then the second time we made it, we understood those faux pas a little bit, and it went a little faster. Then we finally sat down and took the time to rewrite the recipe in a way that made more sense to us, so we could do it start to finish a little more efficiently. And now we can pretty much do it in our sleep. It's time consuming enough that we don't make it on a Wednesday night, but for most holidays, we pull this one out. I think that's true of farming and probably your job, most jobs too. The first time you do it, it's pretty complicated. It's a little overwhelming. And then you get a little more organized. And then you understand the complications a little bit better, and it just makes you a little more prepared to deal with the inevitable curveballs that come your way. All right, butter's sizzling. I'm gonna turn the heat down. I don't wanna brown my onions. I want them to saute nice and slow, so they get nice and translucent, but not crispy or brown or burnt tasting at all. Throw the garlic on top of the onions, and we'll get started chopping up our potatoes. So potatoes, the reason you don't see them grown everywhere in the country as you drive across Iowa or the Great Plains is because potatoes require a really specific soil type to grow well. Our farm is fortunate that we have sandy soils. Well, fortunate and unfortunate. When my great-grandparents started the farm, the sandy soils were not a good thing. They must have ranked pretty low because it was absolutely the worst of the worst ground. And I don't know if they got tricked into getting it or what. But with modern agriculture and all the technology that we have now, we were able to add irrigation. And when you can water sandy soils, it actually gives you a lot of control over how to maintain your crop. And that allows us to grow potatoes, which now makes our land some of the most valuable land, ironically, because we can grow the specialty. So right now I'm just chopping up my potatoes, about 2.5 pounds into 1-inch cubes. I leave the skin on. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin and it's fussy to peel them. For us, irrigation is absolutely essential to making a potato. And we use a lot of water on our farm, but we're really, really careful about how we use it. We have 4 guys who manage our irrigation, and each of them average over 20 years of experience, so they really know what they're doing. We're really careful to not put on more than we need to use, partially because we want to take care of the environment and not use more than we need, but also because the potatoes don't like it. If you put too much water on a potato, they're more prone to diseases. Potatoes grow underground in the dirt, so they don't like to be soggy and wet. They like the water to drain through them at the end of every day. We grow 200 million servings of French fries on our farm, and it takes a lot of water to grow 200 million servings of French fries. It looks like a lot when you're seeing it put on the field, but when you think about what's being produced there and how it's getting distributed all over the country and sometimes the world, it really puts a different spin on the value of using those resources. I calculated once that our farm produces over 42 million meals every year. It's pretty astounding when you think of it that way. Our little slice of central Minnesota is feeding over 40 million people every single year. And it's renewable because we take care of our resources, because we take care of the environment and our soils, because we're stewards of the land. We get to produce over 40 million meals every single year, as long as we keep doing what we're doing. All right, let's get to the good stuff. I think we're ready to get the potatoes in the pan and add more dairy products. And I got all these potatoes in my pan. Whatever I can squeeze in there. I need 2.5 cups of heavy cream. I need 1.5 cups of chicken stock, so I'll just fill it up to the 2. All right, potatoes have been simmering in cream for about 15-20 minutes. They're starting to get a little bit soft, but they're not totally translucent. They're just parboiled. And at this point, I'm going to turn off the heat. Get a little lemon zest and juice to zing them up. The point at which you add the lemon juice kind of matters. If you add it too early, lemon has a way of making food kind of bitter. But if you add it towards the end of the cooking, it just brightens it up. Yeah, the potatoes are cooked down just a little, but they're still really holding their shape when I try to stir them. You don't want them cooked down so much that they're mashing into each other. You want it to hold the shape and the texture. All right, and I'm doing this family style. So I'm going to get it transferred right into my baking dish. Oh yeah. Potatoes boiled in cream is never going to be bad. Just get that cream dispersed kind of evenly. Tuck these potatoes in for a little nap. Get them in the oven. Like so many things in life, a little bit of planning can really set you up for success later. I used frozen hash browns, so I set them out on a paper towel to thaw out a little bit and be ready to get searing in the pan. You want them to be slightly unthawed and nice and dry. That's why I set them out on a paper towel. Alternatively, you can use hash browns out of the freezer section, like the potatoes that we grow, the Simply Potato brand, and you can find those in the refrigerated section. So I'm gonna get my pan going again. First, I'm gonna get more butter melting in the pan. I'm on medium high heat right now. I want it a little hotter so I can get a little crisp on the hash browns before I add more cream and then put it on top of our cubed potatoes. All right, butter's melted, so let's get the hash browns into the pan. I set myself up for success with these potatoes, setting them out early to get thawed while I was working on something else. And that's kind of how it goes at the farm too. All winter long, we're planning, trying to set ourselves up for success, deciding what seed to use, what locations to grow things in, assessing what went right last year or wrong last year, and making the little tweaks to make sure that we're doing our very best year over year. Spread out kind of in an even layer. And then I'm not going to fuss with them so I can get a little crisp on the bottom. All right, potatoes have been searing up on the other side. I have a nice crisp going again. So it's time to add some more dairy product. I'm going to turn off the heat. I have a little more cream and chicken stock mixed together. I'll pour that right over the top. Also going to add a big fistful of Parmesan cheese, grated. Maybe 2 big fistfuls. And then the chives. All right. The cubed potatoes browned up a little bit. They're bubbling away. Now I'm going to assemble the shredded potatoes on top. I like to add just a little more Parmesan on top so you get a nice crispy cheese topping. Get it back in the oven. All right, it's been about a half hour. Our Potatoes Delmonico is finally done. All right, we got a crispy top, nice creamy center. Next time you want to do something a little special for your family, take the time, understand the technique, put in the effort, and make these Potatoes Delmonico for your family. Thank you for the opportunity to grow food for you, and thanks for cooking with me today. Hope you enjoy it.